That Nicole Kidman. The Lost City. Generic title, but that's what they're going with. So The Lost City stars Sandra Bullock. She's a romance adventure novelist. You know those novels you'll see at Barnes & Noble where there's like the guy with his shirt off on the cover? The cover model in this case is played by Channing Tatum. So Sandra Bullock writes these novels about these Indiana Jones style adventures, but they're more about the romance. They're like Indiana Jones except they're erotica pretty much. So she just wrote her latest one, and Daniel Radcliffe comes along and he's like, oh my god, you wrote about a treasure that I've been looking for years. So you're gonna help me find it. So he kidnaps Sandra Bullock, and Channing Tatum, with no survival skills whatsoever, is like, I'm gonna go rescue her. Sounds ridiculous, I know, but if you've seen the trailer, then you know that that's what the movie set out to be. Like, watching the trailer, you're like, alright, this movie looks completely absurd, but it could be fun. I will say, Sandra Bullock, pretty good in the movie. I like the backstory that they gave her character. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it did land with me. I was like, alright, I get it. She's not at the best spot in her life right now. She's going through kind of a depression, and you do completely understand why, so you're like, alright, this movie's gonna be about her getting over that. Solid, alright. I'm down. But then there's Channing Tatum, who, I'll be honest, he's hit or miss with me. Sometimes he surprises me. I'll be like, alright, that was some solid acting from him. And in this movie, he doesn't do that. Nah, I didn't think his acting was that great this time around. I get that his character's supposed to be like the stumbling, awkward type, to which I guess he was good at that. But then when he tried to be serious in like an emotional scene, yeah, I didn't buy it. It's as simple as that, I just didn't buy it. Best character in the movie though, Daniel Radcliffe. And I don't think it's just because this is the first time I've seen him on a movie theater screen since 2011, but it's because I could tell he was just having a lot of fun in this role. He's a snarky businessman type. He's got a few loose wires up there, he yells a lot. I just gotta wonder what the casting process was like for this role. I'm actually really curious about how they landed on The Boy Who Lived. So if for nothing else, he really entertained me. However, is the movie good? That is the question. I mean, it's not a complete piece of shit. It's not. I actually did have some fun with this movie. This being a comedy first and foremost, I would say the humor is of course going to be a big part of it. And I hate to say that while some of the humor landed, and actually a couple of jokes did make me laugh out loud, just a couple of them, most of the humor was just straight up awkward. And I get that, yeah, that's what the trailer boasted. Oh, it's an awkward comedy. An awkward comedy with dumb, ridiculous fun. Okay, I get it. But the humor still has to land and be funny. And really, for the most part, it just wasn't. And usually in movies like this, the audience around me will be laughing and I'll be the weird one who isn't. I acknowledge that in my reviews. But in this case, the audience was with me for a lot of it. It was a pretty big audience, and there were not a lot of huge laughs throughout the entire movie. There were some chuckles that I heard here and there, sporadically, but no one was really dying laughing. Yeah, that's a bad sign, writers of this movie. Cause so many of the jokes in this movie, they were easy jokes, or even if they weren't the easy jokes, they just didn't land. The delivery of them, I was sitting there blank faced for a lot of this movie. Like during the funny scenes, I was like, okay. And that's not good. It's not good. Another flaw this movie has is that it is really predictable. I mean, just from watching the trailer, you know exactly how this movie's gonna play out. Seriously, I'm not just saying that. After I watched the trailer, I was like, okay, I know exactly how this movie's gonna end. There are no surprises, there's no tension. Actually, there was one surprise that happened around the beginning. I was like, oh shit, alright, that's cool. But other than that, yeah, it's just the same old shit. I was watching the movie and I was like, alright, this is the scene where this is gonna happen, right? And yup, that's when it happened. And that was me pretty much throughout the entire movie. There's also this one story arc with her publicist that I felt was completely unnecessary. Like while Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum are lost on this island, her publicist is trying to figure out what's going on. She wants to go rescue them, and I'm like, why is this movie wasting my time with this? I liked her character enough, but again, a lot of the humor didn't land. Especially with this guy she meets up with. I was like, this guy just... No, he was probably the worst part of the movie in my opinion. I do feel like I'm shitting on this movie more than I thought I would. I do want to make some excuses for it, cause really it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. I mean, it is a fun adventure, you know, it's one of those Indiana Jones type lost treasure hunt movies. I always love those types of adventures, so I'm always automatically down for one of those. The scenery is beautiful in this movie, I will say that. There were definitely some parts where I could tell they were in front of a green screen, but then there were some shots where I was like, this is gorgeous. I feel like I'm on vacation. action. There's something about seeing shots like this on a big movie theater screen, as opposed to a TV on display at Costco, that's really cool. And the score in this movie I actually thought was awesome. It's Pinar Toprak, she did the score for Captain Marvel, also Fortnite, and what can I say, she just writes great music. I mean, she is a fellow Berklee College of Music alumni, so it makes sense. But when you have these big scenic shots and the dramatic music's going along with them, you can't help but be like, whoa. Alright, I'm digging this. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, I guess. What can I say? So in the end, short review for a simple movie. The Lost City had some things that landed with me. Sandra Bullock was really good. I liked her character's backstory. She had some good emotional moments. And Daniel Radcliffe was a really good villain, surprisingly. I enjoyed the adventurous vibe of the movie and the score. But the awkward humor was just such a huge minus point here. And with the predictable plot and Channing Tatum's acting and the needless publicist story arc, those bring it down just a bit. For The Lost City, I will say, wait until this movie's at a discount price, then go see it. So The Lost City, have you seen it yet? What do you think about it? And what is your favorite archaeological treasure hunt movie of all time? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And just letting you know, I am about to be out of town for about a week, so unfortunately that means my Morbius review is gonna be a little bit late. I do apologize for that, but I thought you should know. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!